if you're John Lynch, are you rooting for Jimmy to win the Super Bowl or not? Like, what are you rooting for?
I mean, you got to root for the win, obviously.
No,
right?
absolutely
You cannot.
Absolutely not.
If Jimmy Garoppolo wins the Super Bowl,
then you were totally wrong.
Your general manager's position in what you did is totally in question.
Yep.
So now the guy who you should have got rid of, that's now playing for you, who just won a game for you, if he takes you to the Super Bowl and win, oh my God.
I am all in on Jimmy G, and it's not just because he is gorgeous. It is because...
Is it because he's in the Subway commercials?
I don't know, and I don't think I've ever had a Subway sandwich before. That's not any breaking news here. I don't think
that is breaking news.
You think so?
Well, I didn't know, so therefore you broke news. Yeah, you never
Marshall,
had Subway?
I said yesterday,
No,
and
they
Rich called
scare
me
me.
crazy. I said that Jimmy G should go into John Lynch's office and say, hey, you know the $18 million that I gave up to come back here? I want it now.
I want to get
or
paid.
I'm not stepping on the field again.
Nah, I wouldn't do that. I think the best thing that he could do is win as many games. He has to win the Super Bowl because he's taken. Basically, they changed quarterbacks because he couldn't win.
He couldn't make one.
He couldn't win the Super Bowl,
right?
And then he couldn't win the NFC Championship. It's like that's what. Now, if he does that, John Lynch, and I love John, but you could not be put in a worse position as a general manager. Like, there's not a worse position to be put in.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like, even if you decide, if he wins and you decide, I'm going to move Trey Lance now.
Who's going to take him?
Right. You cannot. It's just like, it's such a bad position.
But isn't this kind of like where we were a couple years ago in Philadelphia with all the question marks about who's your quarterback and who's going to... When they post Super Bowl, they had all these issues about who's going to be the starter, who's going to go from there.
But we knew. See, Philadelphia had already declared that it was Carson Wentz's team, and that Nick Foles just came in for relief.
Right.
And as soon as Carson was healthy, it was Carson's job.
And Wentz had 14 weeks where he was basically the MVP of the league. We still haven't seen Wentz play. He's only played a handful of games.
Yeah, Philly was a little different. Now, where the situation was pretty similar was actually in San Francisco when they had Colin Kaepernick and Alex Smith.
Yeah.
It's crazy that they had the exact same situation.
Well, then going back, they had Montana and Young too, so
they had a pocket passer and an athletic quarterback. They've had this conundrum 3 times in their organization, where some organizations have had it 0.
But Marshall, don't you feel like that's a better situation to be in? Because with the backup quarterback spot being so, important, I'd rather have that guy than not have that guy?
TJ, I'll tell you right now, the more games Cooper Rush wins, the worse off the Cowboys are for Dak. It's just like, you have 2 quarterbacks, you have none.
Okay.
It is not a position for competition. Those guys, they need to be coddled. They need to know that they're your number one.
Yeah.